All right, today is February 3rd. This is the Local Liquor Control Commission calling the meeting to order. Let's take a roll call. Commissioner King.
Present.
Commissioner Weiss.
Present.
I am here. Our attorney is here. So we have one item on the agenda tonight. But do we have any public comments on agenda items? Seeing nobody. Public comments on non-agenda items? Also nobody. Does anybody wish to make an amendment to the agenda?
Nope.
Okay, we'll get past that. Okay, so new business, this is to issue a recommendation to amend Section 3-313 of the Villa Park Municipal Code to reduce the number of Class AAA liquor licenses and increase the number of Class I liquor licenses to issue a Class I liquor license to Mortadelli LLC, DBA Mortadelli. Does anybody want to start?
I'd like to make that motion.
Okay. Want a second?
Sure, I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye? Or do you need a roll call?
We're going to do a discussion.
Discussion.
Well, I was gonna,
We're-
okay, all
Right, so
right.
they made the motion.
Fair enough, fair enough,
Discuss-
fair enough,
have
fair
it
enough.
Open for discussion.
I always get that confused. Okay.
No problem.
All right, so discussion. I did have a question. Joe, if you could step up to the mic for a quick second. We're going through our notes. What's your position with
I
Mortadelli?
work there.
You're a manager, you're a president, vice president?
I just work when she needs help.
Okay, so you don't have any official position with the company, or?
I don't know.
Because you signed the lease, that's why I'm,
So I had before the, I have the report with Frank Gentili. So I didn't know what this was before we, about 2 years ago.
no, this was signed a year ago, less than a year
Yeah,
ago.
the last time. As a guarantor, because my credit was a little better,
Okay,
so that's what it was. So-
okay. I'm just trying to understand,
Yeah, I
you know,
Well,
because
Frank is,
I'm trying to make sure all the i's are dotted, so.
percent, and if it needs to be
Well, no,
changed,
So that would actually be for me, because I'm the owner. I mean, I'm owner operator, it's 100% my business, that's all on my, liquor application.
Right,
And for any of my applications, I'm 100% owner, but he can be a guarantor on my lease.
yeah, but your signature's not on this lease anywhere, that's why I asked.
But because I'm Mortadelli, so being that I'm Mortadelli, that's how Frank kind of wanted it written, that like, because technically Mortadelli was gonna be the only one that's on the lease, but Frank wanted a guarantor on there. And him and Joe, from the day we started with Mortadelli, just that side, had always been the only ones who kind of like talked back and forth, and then they kind of handled it all. So then, at the very end, he decided he wanted a guarantor on the business.
No, yeah, no, I understand.
That's why
As
he's
I
on
look,
there.
as we look through the paperwork, that's just the
Yeah.
one thing that doesn't,
so
But
my,
he's on there as a guarantor, but he is not in any ownership with Mortadelli.
okay.
So Mortadelli is incorporated.
LLC,
Right. And so she signed as Mortadelli, and then you, Joseph is the.
right, okay. Anything,
And then you're the 100% shareholder of Mortadelli, right?
Correct.
And then you're not a manager, you're just help out.
yeah, I help out, yes. I'm a union, transportation for Local 727, and right now in the movies, it's slow. So I'm just been, just helping out as much as I can.
okay.
One other item I wanted to address was, I was made aware that Mortadelli was recently issued last week a notice of violation for sign violations, one of which was for banner signs.
Right.
So, I had a question about that. I know it looks like there's two banner signs up, one for Mortadelli, that says Mortadelli, and one that says Mortadelli Lounge. And I was just wondering if you could just explain more for the commission.
So it was very confusing in the beginning. We weren't allowed to put a sign up at all for Mortadelli. So as you know, not having a sign out in front of your business is tough when you're, so our sign that says Mortadelli was out on the outside. They made us take it down, and our sign, our real sign for our business is actually hanging inside of our business because it cannot protrude out. They came out with all these other rules after we had already had, or the previous owner or renter had a lit up sign on the front of the building, and we didn't know. We should have left it there because we could have just slid in a new thing that said Mortadelli. But after they came up with all these other rules, we weren't able to do that, and we had already taken the sign down. So since we took the previous renter's sign down, we wound up having to hang our sign that was $1,500 inside our business, and that's what's inside Mortadelli right now. So once we were able to take over the second space and open it up together, we had just had those temporary banners put up just because we need people to know where we are and what we're doing. And until we had, you're not going to spend and invest, I'm not going to spend and invest a ton of more money until I knew exactly what would be allowed to be put on the building as kind of not a permanent, but basically a permanent sign for our business while we're there.
And is there a reason, I guess, why you have Mortadelli Lounge and Mortadelli?
So we were just trying to figure out, like, are we gonna say, since we expanded and there is a lounge with our deli now, is it gonna be like Mortadelli Lounge or Mortadelli? But, I mean, it is Mortadelli LLC, so those are just temporary banners that we printed up at, like, Kinko's, and we put up there, and in fact, there is a permit, I did submit for a permit for those.
When?
Just yesterday I emailed, or this morning I emailed it over to them, because I wasn't aware that I had to have one for the canvas.
Did you put the signs up?
They've been up for a little while. I don't know exactly when I put them up, but they're literally on iHooks.
6 months, a year, 10 years?
No, I've only been there for a year and 8 months, so maybe 6 months. But I wasn't aware that I had to have, and I was just told last week that I needed a permit for those, so I didn't know that.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is why I submitted the permit.
And just my question with the Mortadelli Lounge and the Mortadelli sign, I mean, the reason I'm asking is just because lounge, hasn't been mentioned in any applications. I mean, your application, is for an Italian deli, so that's what, just the differentiation between the two signs.
Well, I mean, I could change the name to Mortadelli Lounge if that's better, but to say just Mortadelli, like just as a deli, when I do have, a bar and that side, maybe that's why we were thinking, but as far as changing the name, it didn't cross my mind, honestly. I just put them up there like that because we had both sides. That's when it went up, when the two temporary signs went up, because I didn't know, like, how am I going to advertise for our business when we can't really have, there's certain stipulations with the permanent sign. And once we took over the second space, we're allowed to have a lot bigger sign now because of the fact that we have a larger space. We have 2 spaces instead of 1. So I guess I need probably somebody to come out and clarify for me exactly how much space I can take up on the building, how far it can protrude out, what can be there, what cannot. Because at one point I was told I can have gooseneck lamps that go over the light. Another time I was told I couldn't even have a sign that stuck off the building. So before you invest that kind of money in a sign, I need clarity, because I feel like there's not a lot of clarity in a couple different things with everything that's been going on. So if I can get some more clarity, then it'd be easier for me to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and then go forward with putting up a temporary sign that says Mortadelli across the whole front of both. Or if I decided I was going to call it Mortadelli Lounge, then I have to go down that road of changing the name of Mortadelli. I mean, Mortadelli is never, that name is never changing, because that's
you.
Mortadelli, you know what I mean? But now that we've added on a bar, I feel like we kind of maybe need to incorporate something, but if that's going to be an issue, I'll just leave it as just Mortadelli for the permanent sign once we put one up.
And just to clarify though, the 2 banner signs are still up right now.
They are.
Okay.
They're on iHooks. I can take them down today if it's necessary, but I submitted permits, so I didn't think that at this point.
Do you have any other follow-up questions in regards to?
No.
Okay. Based on the notice of violation and some other, reviewing the application, I do think the application for the Class I warrants, additional review before recommendation can be made.
So my question, I'm confused because we're just hearing about this now. There's unpaid violations then?
Nothing's unpaid.
It was a notice of violation that was issued regarding the banner signs, and I believe there's another issue possibly with some flashing signs as well.
So we had one sign in our window that says, win on it, and it blinks. So we were told the sign can't blink. It's been unplugged and taken out. It's not blinking.
When did you do that?
The day they came out and said that the sign can't blink.
Okay.
So that's done. And then the two banners that are up front on top of the building, they have been up there since the summertime. And they just came out last week when they told us about the flashing light and said that those, you need to have a permit for a temporary sign. So,
Well, temporary sign.
yes,
Do you know how long a temporary sign permit lasts?
I have no idea.
I think it's 15 days.
So then how come, like, why is it just as of last week that I was told that it needs to have a permit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
So all of a sudden, last week, I'm getting told that the blinking light, okay, it's off. The temporary signs, they have to have a permit. I submitted that. I can pull them off right now, but I just thought, why am I gonna pull these temporary signs off? And then my business is even hidden more. But if it's that big of a deal, I can go pull them off Joe, go pull them off the building right now. I mean, they're on eye hooks. It's a canvas
Yeah,
printout.
it's code enforcement that's in charge of those regulations.
Right, so I was told just apply for a permit and then it's not an issue. So that's why I applied for the permit. And the blinking light, don't have it blinking, so I took it down.
Commissioner King?
What was the date of the violation notice?
January 29th.
I am surprised by this. We met at our meeting last week and discussed this, and then now all of a sudden she's got a violation for signage.
It's been up for 6 months.
Well, I know that the village has been working on signage throughout the village, and they were looking to start issuing violation notices right around this time.
I don't feel that we should delay our recommendation based on this, because this is, we decided to have this special meeting before when we met, and these violations come up now, and are they really violations?
Right. When I can take it down right now.
I don't know that it's our position to determine that.
I think the village staff we would need to consult with village staff
Right.
about.
I don't feel that the violations should delay our progress in making a recommendation to the board. If the board wants to do that, that's fine, but I don't think that our recommendation should be.
Well, I want to send this to the board clean. I don't want to send it unfinished.
I mean, like, this is, I'm honestly getting really frustrated here. I mean, first of all, everybody's not here. Last week when you guys decided to have this extra meeting, because you yourself even said you didn't instruct me of the steps correctly. Nobody has all the stuff. I'm not handed a piece of paper that says, here are the steps for you to go in front of the village board. I was never handed a paper because I don't think anybody up here even knows all the correct steps, because look at everything that we're jumbling through. I've been here 3 times in front of the Liquor Commission. The first started with an email from Kevin Patrick that instructed me I needed to come to the meeting on the first date that I met in front of you guys. I needed to go to that meeting in order to go in front of you guys to get recommendation to go in front of the board. So why wasn't he a little bit more thorough explaining, go to the meeting, this is what you need to do, or sent a form, hey, here's the steps you need to follow. Perfect. Then I come to the second meeting, and then it's a whole nother thing. While you're not actually on, you have to come back. Okay, so now I'm back, and I'm sorry, again, I forgot his name. I keep saying Wagner, but Zach said
Wagner.
long as we were going for the I license, he has my recommendation. Now Kevin's not here, we're missing people, so it's like, okay.
Doesn't matter that Kevin's not here, we still have a quorum.
Okay, but when Wagner was here, he said if it's for the I license, or if I would have known that, there was gonna be other people missing, then I would have said, well, why are we gonna have a special meeting if everyone's not here? It's just like, and then I get these 2 violations. They're not fines. I don't have fines. It was a blinking light in the window that's removed. A blinking light. And isn't it funny how it comes the week that I'm coming in front of you guys for actually being in front of you where you can make the recommendation. And then the two banners that are on the top, I was told by, when they came out to give me the violation for it, I was told, you just have to apply for a permit for them. Okay, no problem. I applied for the permit. The blinking light, can't blink. No problem, done today. So I was never told prior to this, they've been up for 6 months. I could see if I've been numerous violations for the same thing, or if it was a permanent sign that was up and I couldn't go take it down the minute I leave here, but starting off clean, perfect, I'll take them down right now. The blinking sign's gone, and the signs are off the building, so I couldn't go any more clean in front of the board, because now I removed the temporary signs. So the permit or the application I submitted for the permits for those, they're gone. The blinking light is gone, so I don't think it could be any more clean.
So Ted, just to go over the procedure, and I know you've come back to multiple meetings.
3 times.
So procedurally, so the procedure is, that we discussed last week, was to submit the the liquor license application for the Class I.
Which
So
I
this is
did.
just all part of the process. So once you submit the application, it goes through due diligence with staff, and then part of the due diligence is also coming in front of the commission. So this is just all part of the due
But
diligence.
this is something that should be told to us business owners. These are the steps that are there, that are taken, instead of just an email that says, go in front of the liquor commission on this day to this meeting. And that's how you get recommendations to go. Because you have to understand, when I went for my liquor license, when I first opened my business, I didn't do all this. All you did was went in front of the board. You asked to be put on the agenda, you got put on the agenda when they had time. When there was a slot open, you got put on the agenda and you went in front of the board. So this is all new, but nothing is sent out to any of us business owners or told on a piece of paper or even log on to the Village of Villa Park to say, these are the steps you need to take in order to get A, B, C, and D done. Because don't you think, I don't want to waste your guys' time, you coming here tonight. I have a child at home. I don't have time to keep coming back here. But obviously, we're trying to get something done. I'm trying to move forward in our town, but now this is the week that I'm coming to finally get in front of the liquor commission. I'm getting 2 violations, not fines, 2 violations for 2 basically temporary things, a light in the window that's been gone, and 2 canvas banners that can be unhooked right now. And I submitted the application for them that I was told that I needed to do.
Commissioner King?
Okay, so she was given the violation on January 29th, and Commissioner DiTomaso, you sent the Liquor Commission her application on January 31st. So my question is, why wasn't the violation also circulated to the Liquor Commission if it was an issue for this?
I don't know.
Excuse me, I'm speaking, okay? Why weren't those violations circulated to the Liquor Commission if it was an issue for us to consider?
I don't know because I haven't seen it until now.
Can you please repeat that for me, what you just said?
Okay, so we were provided your application for review on January 31st. And the violations that you received were on January 29th. So my question is, why wasn't this Liquor Commission made aware of those violations prior to reviewing your application, which was given to us on 2 days later on January 31st?
Exactly. Or why wasn't an email sent to you guys?
I don't think that this commission should entertain those violations in our consideration of making a recommendation to the board.
And I would say, with the violation, I don't know, this was just made aware to me as well,
When
but
we-
you weren't able, a liquor license, you're not eligible to get a new liquor license if you have code violations. So any person applying for a liquor license would have to make sure that all code violations they might have are addressed before they would get it, so.
But you guys aren't even able to have the authority to approve a liquor license. I have to go in front of the board. All you guys are doing is making a recommendation for me to go in front of the board. So I guess that would be, to me, I would think for the board to decide, hey, we can't issue that liquor license or change it because there's violations. And if you received my application on the 31st, but my violations were on the 29th. That seems like a convenient lack of communication to you guys by not letting you know that there's violations that are outstanding, because right then and there.
But nevertheless,
Well, right then and there, I would think that that would say, well, guess what? This meeting should be null and void. Let's not waste your time, Danielle, because if she has violations, we're not going to push it and make a recommendation, because we can't make recommendations if there's outstanding violations. Therefore, you guys should have been informed.
nevertheless, whether there's a communication issue or not, the violations are still there. There's a violation notice
There's only one violation that's still there.
that has to be resolved.
The light is off. That violation is done. The permit was submitted. The application was submitted for the temp signs. However, I can take them off my building right now. They're not permanent. They're a canvas that was printed from Kinko's. So I could see if I had fines, outstanding fines, or stuff stuck to my building that I couldn't take off, but
We don't know where this ends up is the point,
you don't know where what ends up.
the violation notice. We don't know if they're going to grant you the permits, what they're going to do.
I don't want, that's fine. I'll go take them down. Joe, do me a favor. Go take the signs off of our Mortadelli
I'm
building.
not gonna give them
I don't care. I want them off the building. Take them off the building. Take our canvas signs that we printed at Kinko's off the building.
Commissioner King?
I never heard of anything like this.
Okay, if she's gonna take the signs down and unplug the lights,
The light's already been unplugged.
and, you know, like I said, we were not provided that paperwork prior to reviewing this application, so I don't feel that we should consider it in making a recommendation to the village board. I mean, this is news to me, and I think it's suspicious that we were just now provided this information.
No, as part of the application process,
Commissioner DiTomaso, I would ask that you follow Robert's Rules of Order, and when I have the floor, don't interrupt me. Okay, if we were provided that information ahead of this meeting, like we should have been, then we could have considered it. But now it's given to us right now when we're ready to vote. I just don't feel that's appropriate. And the ultimate say of whether she gets a liquor license is with the village board, and our job is to make a recommendation to the village board. So I don't feel that that should slow us down. I'm done.
I'm in agreement. You don't have any, if you don't have an outstanding fine, I mean, I don't know why we shouldn't vote. I mean, it's gonna be their ultimate determination. I feel like you've submitted everything, I'm just confused at this point. If there's no outstanding fees, is it just a warning? Or is
I
it-
have them, yeah, I could show you. It's just like a door tag. It's a warning. That's what it is, that it needs to be completed or
Because it
followed.
says on the checklist for application, debts due and owing to the village.
Yeah, I don't have anything outstanding.
That's where my concern would be.
Yep, I have nothing outstanding. Well, believe me, if they were showing you that, and I had outstanding debts due to the village, that would definitely, the attorney, I would hope that would be the first thing that she would have, but I have nothing outstanding to the village.
May I speak? Okay, so she's stated on public record that she's taken the signs down and unplugged the lights. That should be good enough for us to say that those violations are addressed. I say we proceed with the vote.
I'll second it, I guess. I don't see a reason, I don't see what we can fight it with. I mean, it's gonna be up to the board. I don't see any violations. You explained what
Right.
why Joseph's on the lease.
Yep.
I just don't know why we shouldn't vote.
okay.
I agree.
We want to vote? Commissioner King?
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm going to vote yes also, but my concern is only that you look as good as you can when you go to the village board.
Joe, listen, I've
Let
walked
me
the
speak,
Chuck,
please.
okay.
Okay? I understand some of this process has been frustrating. I understand that there's been communication that maybe wasn't clear, and
I don't work for the village, so I can't give that
please let
information.
me speak.
I'm just asking
Please let me
for
speak.
it.
Please let me speak. I understand all that, okay? But some of these things are processes that have to be followed, whether a mistake is made or not. Whether somebody said, do this, do that, and it was the wrong information, doesn't change the fact that there's legalities in both state law and our ordinances that say, this must happen, then this must happen, then this must happen, then this must happen. Doesn't matter who did what to who, and somebody said the wrong thing. We have to just get through it, okay? And as I told you last meeting, I should have said, go get an application filled out first. I didn't realize you needed one because you just did a renewal, the application's there, et cetera, et cetera. So I wasn't looking to run you through more work. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off. But I can tell you this, the village board is more likely to grant you what you want if you have everything cleaned up. Such as the signs, such as, if you walk in there with code violations that they perceive, they may very well take that in consideration.
If I stepped in here today and I did not follow what they told me that you can't have a blinking sign, and I still had a blinking sign, and I didn't submit a permit or an application for a permit for temporary signs, completely understand what you're saying about don't walk into the meeting with a mess or with outstanding violations. Completely understand that. I am well aware of that, and I appreciate you telling me that, because if I do have them outstanding, they aren't going to approve it if that's the route they went down.
Well, they may not.
However, you guys don't have the authority to make that decision whether I get that license or not. So I just feel like I've followed everything under the Liquor Commission to go forward, to go in front of the board. And then if I have outstanding violations, then I can understand the board saying, listen, this is a legality, they're outstanding, you don't belong moving forward, we can't do it. But it's a canvas sign that I can go unhook right now. It's not like it's stuck to my building. I don't owe any money to the village. I've walked a straight chalk line through hoops just to try to get here to get to the board. And honestly, it is a problem when I'm issued violations on the 29th and my application's on the 31st, and you guys aren't aware of that. So to me, it seems a little fishy.
Could I ask what dates you put up the signs, even if it is approximate?
I would have to say June or July. It was warm out, that's all I could say.
So more than 6 months ago, you've had those signs up.
And it just so happens that last week or on the 29th, I get 2 violations of a blinking light that's been in the window and 2 canvas signs.
Okay, at this point, we voted. You've got a recommendation, so we're going to close discussion on this portion of it. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Tom, thank you for digging and finding that out for me so I can understand it clearly. So can you please explain to me now, just so moving forward, I don't waste anyone's time or mine, what are my next steps in order to get in front of the village board on the agenda?
We will send a recommendation to the village board, and they will place you on the agenda as soon as they like to.
Okay, so who is it that you'll be sending the recommendation to?
I'll be sending it to President Patrick.
Okay, and so it's Kevin's decision to decide when he can fit me on in front of the village board?
I don't know specifically who makes that determination. If
I just
it's-
want to know, like, the next steps, who I would need to contact to follow up with, just so I know that things are moving in the right direction.
I will make sure,
Are you going to copy me on the email that you send for the recommendation approval by the Liquor Commission?
I will submit the recommendation to President Patrick. He will determine, him and I would imagine Manager Rivas will fit it into the appropriate agenda, whether it's the next meeting or the following,
Okay?
and it'll go from there.
Yeah, so that's all I wanted to know, like, what the next steps are, so I know what to be watching out for. So you don't know the steps of how that goes?
Well, the agenda is set by the village manager.
Okay, so the village manager sets the agenda?
He does it in consultation
In
with
consultation
President
with
Patrick, yes.
President Patrick, yes.
So they both set it together?
They both set it together. Sometimes trustees will ask for certain things to be placed on the agenda, so it'll be added at that time.
So, because originally I was told in order to get on the agenda, I had to have 2 trustees send in a recommendation for me to go in front of the village. So I just want you to know that was another step that I took and was told, no, that's not going to work. And I was told that that's how you get in front of the board. So that's why I'm trying to just make sure I have transparency and clarification as to the next steps so that I don't waste any more time.
I think we have your email on here.
Yeah.
We can follow
Yes.
up with you also about the next steps, now that the commission has recommended approval.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm just asking now, yeah, I mean, the next steps, you're telling me you're gonna email Kevin, so you're saying that the village manager and Kevin are the ones who basically set the agenda unless there's, and obviously, if the trustees ask for extra things to be put on, but, the next meeting for the agenda is on,
I believe it's February
9th?
9th,
February 9th, yes.
okay, and then it's 2 weeks after that, correct?
The 9th and the 23rd.
the 23rd.
Okay.
And just to clarify, the commission has no control over setting the agenda.
Right.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm aware of that, but I just wanna know the next steps so that I know which, so I can follow up, because obviously there's a lot of things that aren't 100%, you know what I mean? So I just want to make sure that I'm not being delayed anymore, and if there's anything else that I need to do on my behalf in order for it to get, moving along. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, moving on. Item 6, commissioner comments.
I don't have,
Yeah, Daniel?
sorry, nope, I'm
Sorry.
good.
Commissioner King?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, okay, so for Mortadelli, she put up the signs June or July of 2025. She had them up, no violations were given to her until she applied for the Class I license, which was January 27th. And then she was served violations 2 days later for signs that she had up 6 months, for more than 6 months. And then we were provided her application on January 31st, no mention of these violations, and today is February 3rd, when we're ready to vote. All of a sudden, we were dropped a bomb where she all of a sudden has these violations for signs. So I implore the village staff and the village government to be transparent with this commission so we can make the best decision possible and communicate openly with us. And that's all I've got.
Well, I don't think that's really fair. We kind of dropped a last-minute special meeting on staff as well. So for them to have the time after they got the application just a week ago, not even a week ago, and do whatever due diligence they normally do, and then get it all to us, isn't fair to them, and it's really not fair to the process. And we kind of bent over backwards to make the special meeting to try and help her along. So I don't believe there was anything intransparent or anything like that, and I think you're judging everybody a little harshly. But that said, I think we're all good at this point. We don't have a village staff person here. Bethany, do you have anything you want to say?
I don't have any comments tonight, no.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion, we adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we conclude at 7:33.